If you plan the same way you did a few years ago, 2026 is going to feel more expensive, more crowded, and more frustrating than it ever needs to be. The good news is, if you understand a few shifts that are happening right now, you can travel better than ever. In this video, I will show you exactly how to plan travel in 2026, step by step, so you save money, avoid crowds, and actually enjoy your trip. First, let's talk about what's different, because this is where most people get stuck. More crowds and more reservations are being done every travel season. There's also more price volatility, meaning in flights and hotels. There's also fewer spontaneous opportunities like the wing it version or you want to get away, type of theme that Southwest used to do. And people now shoulder seasons as a matter that's more important than the actual destination. Travel didn't just break. The rules just changed when it comes to travel. The biggest mistake that people will make in 2026 is planning too many places in such a short period of time, like having transit eating days rather than chilling at a restaurant. You're on the run all the time, getting to your next destination because you're squeezing everything in and having to eat out, getting a quick bite to eat. Another thing is the check-in and check-out fatigue, having to go from one place to another, checking in a hotel only in 2 days to be checking out of another and checking back in later that afternoon. That stuff can get very, very tedious and very, very exhausting. Another thing is just over-tourism penalties where you're booking at a time where there's just so many people and the wait is long and it cuts into your time on your vacation. In 2026 is that fewer places equals better trip. Let's get to the 5 steps that I am going to give you in order to plan a successful trip. Let's start with step 1. And step 1 has to do with deciding the type of trip you want to have. So before you pick the destination where you want to go, you want to decide what type of trip you really want. Do you want a vacation, R&R, relax, chill, or do you want more of an exploration? Do you want to be out and about and see some action, or do you want a little bit of both? Do you want a mixed experience of the relax as well as getting to some action? So you definitely need to decide first what type of trip you want to have, what type of vacation you want to have before you think about the destination on that trip. Once you get done with step 1, step 2 is choosing the right time. In 2026, timing will matter more than the actual location. You want to pick a time where not a lot of people go or the weather is best. So if you're going to a place where it's hot all the time, let's say in Europe, for example, if you go to Italy, it's extremely hot. The best time to go is more like in late April, early June. Or if you decide on the back side of the calendar to go, you'd want to go more in mid-September or in October. If you're trying to go to places that are extremely hot, you want to avoid those summer hot days that you're going. Other like the Caribbean, their summer is more in the winter, more in November, December, where it's more high season. It also can affect your cost of the trip because during those times they will charge more, as opposed if you go in different types of the calendar, you're going to be able to save a little bit more money. Once you've decided the type of vacation you want to have, and then obviously the time of the calendar that you want to go during that vacation, obviously you've already picked the destination you've desired at this point. Then you go into step 3, and that is you want to lock in flights at the right time. So especially for international flights, the sweet spot on doing that is about 4 to 7 months. You want to be ahead of the game because you want to get flights at the right price, because they can skyrocket very, very fast if you choose the wrong time to book a flight. Quick rules that you want to understand. The flight needs to come first when booking everything else. You want to book the flight first. The second thing is you want to avoid basic economy flights. The only reason I want to tell you that is if you're going on a long trip to Europe, or you're going to Dubai, or you're going someplace that it's going to take more than 10 hours, do you really want to be sitting in a small seat during that whole time where you're going to feel crunched up? If you're willing to spend more, like to do business class or whatever, do it. Do so. But you don't want to be caught in a long flight where you're just, if you want to pay less, yes, you can. The experience on the flight is going to leave you definitely drained during that flight. And then the last thing is you want to book flights in the midweek, preferably because those give you the best price, as opposed to wanting to leave on the weekend. The weekend flights obviously are more expensive. They're going to charge more. So then you want to be able to book a flight more towards the midweek, away from the weekend, so you're able to get a good price on a flight that you might book. Step 4, you want to book a hotel early, but you only want to try to book a hotel that is refundable. Why do I say that? Because something could happen, you could get sick, or maybe something came up and you want to get out of it, or there was a misunderstanding on the booking process or anything like that, or you might get the same hotel room at a cheaper rate later on before you actually go on that trip, and you have the flexibility to cancel and rebook without having to lose the money if you commit to a non-refundable. Yes, you save more money that is non-refundable, but you got to be very sure that you're not going to be able to move that date, that there could be a price change. But if you have the ability and get a refundable hotel room, you could have the option of actually booking at a better rate if the price happens to come down. That's the reason why I strongly recommend that you book a refundable hotel room. Now, step 5, and the final step, you want to book only what you feel is going to sell out. So if everything gets booked and sold out, nothing feels like a vacation. You don't want to be stuck at the back end of trying to decide whether you're going to book a certain trip or an exploration trip or a tour, whatever it might be. If you know it's going to sell out, you want to get ahead of it. So that's why you have to devise a plan. Having a plan is going to be very essential in order to book a successful vacation and be able to enjoy that vacation. If you know what you want to do, where you want to go, at what time, and just don't overbook everything. You can't do everything in the span that you're going to end up being at said destination. So if you spend 10 days in Europe, you can't book like 50 different things. It's impossible. So you just got to be able to use your time wisely and just make sure that the things that you really want to do, you want to book those early, and you want to book the convenience that if you're willing to pay the extra, you're not stuck in those huge crowds. So you only want to book major attractions, but you also want to avoid like overscheduled tours or like certain restaurants that could be something that's might take a lot of your time. You need to be strategic in terms of booking the things and of the activities you want to enjoy on your vacation. In 2026, travel rewards people who plan earlier and plan simpler. So if you pick the right season to go on a certain destination, you will be rewarded because you won't be dealing with all the hassles if you end up going during a time where it's the most crowded, for example. Also, you want to plan, for example, a one country trip. If you want to, for example, if you're in Europe, because I've happened to travel to do 2 different countries, like going to Paris and then spending a few days in Venice. I've done that, but I planned it very strategically and I done it very well. There is a way to do it, but you don't want to book like maybe 3 or 4 on your trip if you only got like a certain amount of time to enjoy it. So be smart about that. And you want to be flexible. You want to plan with a lot of flexibility. So if one thing goes wrong, you have a plan B as well. So make sure that whatever plan you eventually draw up, you want to be flexible because maybe the first plan may not go through and you want to have a plan B or maybe a plan C that will make your vacation successful. If you want, you can apply this exact strategy to any one country trip or any trip length. The way you can strategize it, if you use these 5 steps, I think it will be very successful on planning your trip and to make sure that your trip is very successful. Let me know in the comments. Are you planning a trip this year? How are you going to plan it? Also, I could probably leave some of these steps in the description so that way you're able to have a reference on how to go about planning it if you don't get, the retention of the video. But give me a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If this actually helped you, like and subscribe to the channel. We want to keep the algorithm going. We want to get to 1,000 subs as well. So check out my video to have a successful vacation in 2026. Check this video out and we'll see you next time. Safe travels.